Hey there, and welcome back to our channel. Thank you for joining again. I am Mickayla.
And Michael. Welcome to The Good Life.
We are the Stoners. We are on part 2 today of things that you can do that are going to be impactful for your life, that are going to help you with living the good life. Our name comes from these 10 things that we feel help us personally live a good life, live a better life, help us pursue our best life, and we're just sharing them with you today.
Yes. So starting out, we had the first 5. If you want to go to that, go to part 1 of our top 10 reasons. And that would be in the episode before this. So starting with our number 6 is living a life with purpose and getting back to your reasoning of what that is. So what is your purpose? What were you designed to do? If you don't know that, then it's some soul searching. There's a lot of tips, and maybe we'll do an episode on how to find that. But is being dialed into that purpose and staying as connected as you possibly can with that, so that you're aligned and you are locked into understanding your why.
Yeah, I resonate with this a lot because I feel like I truly am living my purpose. Yeah. And I think Michael is in a little bit of a different boat where he feels like he's still trying to find his soul purpose. So we're both on totally different realms and in different sides of this spectrum. But regardless, it's the importance of being on that journey of trying to soul search and figure out, why are you here? What is your purpose in this world? Yeah. There's that saying, the 2 greatest days of your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. Mm-hmm. And I think that this number 6 really speaks to that of, we should be constantly in search of why we were put here on the planet, because clearly God created us and put us here for a reason, and being on a mission to figure out why is really meaningful and important.
Yeah, and a lot of this, it stems, the why that I like to talk about quite often is that so many of us, and we could frame it just with jobs, but it can happen in all of life, all different kinds of things, family and lifestyle and jobs, is most of us know what we do. We know what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Not as many people know how we do it. And not very many people at all know the why behind what they're doing. Right. Why are you doing what you're doing? And in a job, it's not the money. That's something that happens because of understanding why you're doing.
Right. And
that's a result. But getting down to your why and your purpose, which is the same thing, that you really can be dialed in and find happiness when you understand that. And like Mickayla said, yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out. I think I've gotten a grasp working with Mickayla and seeing her joy every single day with Mickayla Stoner Fitness and with every other aspect of her job that she does. And it's the reason why I jumped on board, because I love this stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's finding the different parts of that, the different facets of that why.
Your piece in the world.
Yeah, your piece. And I know from seeing her, when that gets locked in, there's just joy. There's complete joy. And so it's sticking on that journey, staying on it and working. It's not just going to come unless you're very, very lucky. But it takes practice, and it takes searching and discovery and self-awareness and understanding your purpose to figure out what you were designed to do.
Yeah, and I will also note to that when you are living in your purpose every single day, there's this saying being thrown around all the time with entrepreneurs that, like, if it puts a fire in your belly, if it makes you just like this feeling, right, that's what you should be doing, like that's where you should be going. And I'll piggyback off of that and say that you also know if you are following and chasing your purpose and actually living in it when you wake up and something happens that that just within your own work realm, whatever you do, that you feel like I get this like super joyful feeling in my spirit and in my heart when I get a good word from a client or they tell me something that has changed their life. It's so powerful. And if your anchor is rooted in money, you could lose all of that in a heartbeat, and then you've lost your purpose. Your purpose cannot be anchored to money because that's fleeting, which is why Michael said you have to have a why. And if you don't have a why right now, start digging and start trying to figure out what your true why is and why you wake up every single morning.
Yeah. It's a great one to have. So that's where we're starting off, number 6. Number 7 here, moving right along, is, and this is something we touched on briefly in a previous episode, but this is nurturing the relationships that you have.
Yeah.
It takes energy to do that. It's not the easiest thing in the world unless you go to work every day and you're around that person, or you see a good buddy all the time that you live very close. As we age and as we have families and things just get harder and there's more things that go on, that gets more difficult. But keeping those relationships that you really love, that you need, that are a part of you, nurture those. Make the effort to to nurture that relationship, be present in that relationship, and find time for that relationship. It can be difficult, but it can be always as easy as a telephone call. Old school here. Get the rotary phone out here. I was like thinking of
rotary.
One, two. Oh shoot, messed up. That was a skit from, who was that?
No.
One of the comedians. Such a good one.
It's as easy as a telegraph, people.
But nurturing that relationship and keep those alive. We're social beings. We need that.
For sure. Those would definitely cause you to have to, you would have a more meaningful relation or life, and you would feel like you're living the good life if you're nurturing all of your relationships properly. The next one we have is having compassion for yourself with your eating regimen.
Mm-hmm. Heard that.
Your diet, which is simply the food you intake and ingest on the daily. The reason why this is one of our number ones or tips that we want to share that helped us mold what the good life means is because having a healthy, compassionate relationship with food is crucial to feeling good.
Yeah.
Not only because you need to be nourishing yourself properly, but if you have an unhealthy relationship with food, you're never going to feel settled. You're never going to feel in control. You're never going to feel like you're not on some roller coaster or yo-yo of a diet. Physically, you probably just won't feel well. You might be overweight. You might have an eating disorder. It looks like a lot of different things, but this specific point is just everybody needs to have a compassionate relationship with their diet and with food in order to live the good life. And that looks different for everybody.
Yes, it does. And some of you, it may come very easy. Some may be very difficult. But I think the commonality in that is you're creating a lifestyle change.
For sure.
A positive lifestyle change that is going to benefit you in the long run. Mm-hmm. And what we don't like to see is this
up and down,
yo-yo, the accordion diets,
deprivation,
where you're just like this
binging
all the time, and that's stress, that's strain, that's struggle, that's irritation on your body. And so when you're keeping that consistent, and we're not saying be perfect, we're probably going to do an episode on us having a couple cocktails and me making it in the kitchen, because that stuff's great.
Yeah.
But it's all about balance, and it's about lifestyle change and making that a positive, lasting implementation that you can put into your life.
Yeah.
And benefit from.
Yep, I totally agree. And I think on this topic too is the fact that I know firsthand how totally life consuming not having a compassionate, healthy relationship with food or my diet is. And it's draining. And you said the word struggle. You feel like you're you're struggling all the time when you don't have a good relationship with. You could have all other 9 of these tips that we're giving you to help you live a good life, but if you don't have a good relationship with food, I can attest to the fact that you're never going to truly feel like you're living your best life or like you're living a good life. Because with just myself having an eating disorder for 10 years, I knew how totally consuming it was in all the terrible ways. So that's why we threw that in here.
Yes. All right. The next one is being okay with being uncomfortable and
Uncertainty.
Uncertain. Being okay with being uncertain. All right, and uncomfortable. We're not always going to be streamlined, focused, and everything's a-okay. And that's a good thing, because if everything is like that, there's no push. There's nothing to continue to move forward. It's boring. It's blah. If you have stuff that pushes you forward, that is a positive thing. And that's what struggles, that's what failures, that's what being uncomfortable does, is it pushes you to find something, that next level that you can attain to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And then guess what? You're going to get uncomfortable again. And then you'll find that next level. You're always leveling up.
Yeah.
And that keeps us pushing forward. If you don't have that, it's a pretty bland, blah life.
Yeah, for sure. Your being outside your comfort zone is where your growth happens.
Yes.
It's taking a job you're not comfortable with that turns out to be the job that you're going to be in for the rest of your life. It's getting on a stage and speaking when you're terrified to speak. It's just doing things that aren't within your comfort zone. That's what's going to expand your skill set, your confidence, your life experiences. It gives you the experiences. So that's a part of living the good life too, is like, heck, why not just search out uncomfortable things and force yourself to do things that are going to get you outside of your bubble?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
There's nothing like pushing yourself off a ledge and just jumping by faith than finding something that gets you uncomfortable. I'm a big risk taker. Michael probably doesn't love that.
I'm more strategic in that risk.
I'm a big risk taker. Like, just
I evaluate.
come home and tell him, how long ago was it? 7 years ago, that I was just going to quit my job. I had actually quit my job, and I didn't even tell him prior to quitting it. I just came home and I was like, I quit my job today. I'm going to start my own business. I want to be happy.
But what did I say?
Whatever is going to make you happy, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
We're
uncomfortable. That was an uncomfortable
We're very
conversation. Me going, huh? But going, okay, well, I believe in her. She knows what she's doing. She has that ability. She's super intelligent. She'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And we'll be okay. And we may struggle for a little bit, but we'll be okay.
Yeah. But so we're saying is be open to feeling uncertain and to feeling uncomfortable, because there is a lot of growth and depth finding and character building in those spaces. And that will help you build and live a good life. And then finally, being all right with heartbreak and disappointment. It's inevitable. We're going to have heartbreak in our life. We're going to have disappointments. Heck, we're dealing with that right now in this world during a year of totally crazy.
In every aspect.
every aspect. I mean, I reach out to friends sometimes and I'm like, did an alien abduct you? Because in 2020, I'm not sure anymore. Like, so
let it be heart opening.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking can also be heart opening.
And it's a really good place to, at least, like we said in our last episode, in our first 5 points of recognizing the good within the bad, or within the disappointments, or within things that maybe on the outside don't feel or look the best right now. There's always hope. There's always something to be grateful for. And I mean, heartbreaking experiences that I've been through. I'm assuming you've probably been through heartbreaking experiences that you feel
but
really...
it helps mold who you are, and don't take that for granted. We're all going to go through really difficult times, and I'm sure some of you have gone through horrendous times and things that we have never ever been through and could never even imagine you going through that, or us going through that. And there's probably things that we have yet to go through that we're going to go through that are going to be horrendous.
Yeah.
But knowing that you can use that to still be okay, and use that as strength, and as fire to really give back and not take anything for granted, is what heartbreak really brings out, is the joy of what you are given and what you do have and what you have experienced and the people that you have been around. Even if you do lose somebody, which you live long enough, you're going to lose a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you have those experiences with them. You have the love that you shared together, and the relationship that molded you into the person that you are today. Use that to build strength within your heart, and have that heart open to more relationships, more adventures, more things that you can experience, and not close yourself down where you just, I'm dead to the world. Open up.
Let it open you up and not shut you down. You may be in a point right now where you're in a valley, but God's never going to leave you in a valley. He's always going to bring you to the mountaintop, and he's never going to leave you. So you just have to stay in that valley and take it one day at a time. And in no time, you're going to find yourself halfway up that mountain and all the way up at the top of the mountain. And then you'll be soaring, and it's just life.
Yep. And that's our most important one, where it's our bonus, because for us, it matters so deeply, is having that faith in God and knowing that he is not shakable. Everything else in the world is shakable, and can be broken down very easily. But there is one that does not waver and brings us strength. And it has brought Mickayla and myself strength, and our 2 little boys. And it is a powerful, powerful thing that gets us through so many good times, so many bad times, and everything in between that we don't really think about.
Yeah, it's your moral compass. It's your strength. It's your rock. Your faith is your foundation. Like Michael said, it's unshakable. Basically, what we're saying is, if you haven't tried God yet, try him. He loves you. He created you. He's amazing. He will be there for you. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you feel so moved, go ahead, comment, subscribe, like, and share.
Love you. See ya.